Every living thing on Earth follows the same rule. You are born, you grow old, and eventually you die. It is the one law nothing escapes, except something does. Hidden in the world's oceans is a creature smaller than your fingernail that has found a way to cheat death entirely. When it grows old, it does not die. It turns back into a baby and starts its life all over again. This is the immortal jellyfish, and it is very, very real. Its name is Turritopsis dohrnii. Fully grown, it is barely 4.5 millimeters across, smaller than the nail on your little finger. You could hold 100 of them in the palm of your hand. It has a transparent bell, a bright red stomach glowing at its center, and dozens of fine tentacles trailing behind it. For most of its life, it drifts through the sea like any other jellyfish, eating tiny plankton carried by the currents. It looks utterly ordinary, and yet it may be the closest thing to immortal that life on Earth has ever produced. Here is what makes it extraordinary. When a normal jellyfish is injured, starved, or simply grows old, it dies, exactly as everything else does. But when Turritopsis faces the same fate, it does something impossible. Its body begins to transform, the bell shrinks, the tentacles pull inward, and the entire adult animal collapses back down into a tiny blob that settles on the seafloor, becoming a polyp, the infant stage it began its life as. In effect, the adult turns back into a baby. Imagine a butterfly at the moment of death melting back into a caterpillar and then growing into a butterfly all over again. That is what this creature does, and it can do this again, and again, and again. There is no known limit to how many times Turritopsis can reset itself. In theory, a single immortal jellyfish could cycle from adult to baby to adult to baby forever. Scientists call it biologically immortal. It does not age to death the way the rest of us do. Now, it is not truly invincible. It can still be eaten by a predator, struck by disease, or killed by a sudden change in its environment. Immortality from old age is not the same as being impossible to kill, but left alone in the right conditions, this jellyfish may simply never die of natural causes. The world only discovered this by accident. In the late 1980s, a young researcher named Christian Sommer was studying these jellyfish in the Mediterranean, keeping them in small dishes of seawater. He expected them to grow, reproduce, and die, as all jellyfish do. But they would not. No matter how he stressed them, the adults kept refusing to die, instead reverting over and over back to their earliest form. He had stumbled onto something biology said should not be possible. It took years for scientists to fully accept what they were seeing, an animal that could, in effect, run its life in reverse. The secret lies in a process called transdifferentiation. Normally, once a cell in your body becomes a specific type, a skin cell, a muscle cell, a nerve cell, it stays that way for life. But the immortal jellyfish can take a fully grown, specialized cell and rewind it, transforming it into a completely different kind of cell. A muscle cell can become a nerve cell. A nerve cell can become a stomach cell. Its whole body is rebuilt from the inside out. This is astonishing because it is exactly the kind of cellular reprogramming that researchers dream of harnessing to heal wounds, regrow tissue, fight cancer, and perhaps one day slow human aging itself. There is one more twist. The immortal jellyfish is quietly conquering the planet. Because it can survive almost anything, it has hitched rides in the ballast water of cargo ships, spreading from ocean to ocean, turning up on coastlines all over the world. Scientists have described it as a silent invasion carried on the tides of global trade. And so this tiny, near-immortal animal is now almost everywhere, drifting unseen beneath the surface of seas across the entire planet, endlessly being born, growing old, and beginning again. We have spent thousands of years searching for the secret to eternal life, in myths, in medicine, in legend. And all the while it was floating quietly in the sea, inside a creature so small you would never even notice it. The immortal jellyfish will not give up its secret easily, but it proves something profound, that death, the one rule we believed unbreakable, is not absolute. Somewhere out there, something is living forever, silent, tiny, and entirely real.